Life today is filled with choice. But what if we have too much choice? What if these days we just have way too many choices? In the 1950s, a fellow by the name of Herbert Simon, who is known as an American psychologist and economist, came up with this theory of bounded rationality and what he called satisficers. So there's two types of decision-making styles that he really identified. And he looked at those who really try to, what he calls there the maximizers. These are the people who try to research every option, they look at every option, and they really spend a lot of time making their decisions. They try to exhaust every possible option before making their decision. And when they do make a decision, they're often not totally happy with their decision. They may even have regrets, etc. The other type of decision makers, these are what he calls satisficers. It's a combination of a word of satisfy and suffice, and he calls them satisficers. These people, they limit the amount of options that they will look at, be it by actual options or by amount of time. They will put a time bound or a time limit on their decision making, a time by when a decision will be made. And surprisingly, by limiting their choices, what he found were that these people were actually happier with their decisions, that they were more satisfied. So these days, in so many ways, we have so many choices, and the choices often come at a cost, like the maximizers. What it's leading to is too much choice is leading to increased rates of stress, increased rates of anxiety, poorer time management, and sometimes just a complete paralysis where no decision gets made because people will keep waiting for, well, what if there's something better around the corner? And those are increasing stress levels, etc. So what he found was that perhaps there is a case for more is not better. It might actually be less poor. It might result in a poorer quality of our well-being, poorer quality of our life by spending too much of our time trying to make certain decisions. So what if we could actually reduce the choices that we have? So instead of trying to look at everything, we limited the amounts of things that we look at in order to make a decision, and thereby improve the quality of our life by reducing stress, reducing anxiety, and increasing our satisfaction with the decision that we make. And actually having that as part of the criteria that, saying to ourselves, I will be happy but with whatever choice I don't actually make. So perhaps next time you have a decision to make, you might try experimenting being a satisficer, and you might find that you actually enjoy the process, the outcome, a whole lot more. So whilst choice is definitely in many ways improves our life, and certainly having the freedom to choose is definitely an indicator of being able to be more satisfied with our life, sometimes we need to just limit the choices, because too much of a good thing may not actually be a good thing. I actually remember one time this is years ago, that I went to buy some milk when I was drinking milk in America. I couldn't believe it. There were just so many different types of milk. And I was just kind of overwhelmed. I was trying to process too many things of milk because I just wanted milk, plain old ordinary milk. But there were milk that were fortified with every possible thing and things that were removed from the milk. And it was just whoa, choice overload. And I think that was certainly, whilst a simple example, an extreme example of when you just want something pretty simple, pretty standard, but there can just be so many things that complicate the whole decision-making process, where perhaps, it just needs to be a simpler process. And it really wouldn't have mattered. But at the time, I now look back and think, what a classic case of trying to maximise by trying to understand what all those different choices were. So sometimes too many choices is definitely not a good thing. So next time you have a big choice to make, or even a little choice, see if you can find the ways to improve the quality of your life by limiting the choices to make the process simpler so that you're not overwhelmed with so many criteria and not get paralysed with indecision. So simplify is sometimes definitely the better way to go. Looking forward to speaking with you next time. Cheers.